Hello everyone, welcome to PSAR 300 Plus channel. So today onwards we'll be discussing all the questions that has been a part of GS paper 2 mains UPSC 2025 examination. I will be discussing the model answers and also the approach to that particular question. For beginners, approach is important. For those who have written the examination, please evaluate your answer with my answer. If you are very close to my answer, it means you are going to score very high in your examination. You have to just sit in the chair and relax, that you are going to get good marks. Those students who are following me and also students who are not following me, please do follow. Please do subscribe to the channel and also share to all of your friends. I take classes for PSIR optional. Over 10 plus years of experience I have teaching for UPSC and state PSCs. Here we'll be getting the live classes. If you have missed, obviously recorded classes will be given to you. Test series completely I will be evaluating and I will be personally discussing each and everything with you. Then mentorship is also provided with regard to how you have to score better in mains examination. Obviously PSIR is included in that. Current affairs analysis, current affairs topic, everything will be covered in the PSIR. So it also helps you in the prelims examination, also helps you in the GS paper 2 and also in economy and also in general essay. So PSIR in itself is a very comprehensive package to study and also to prepare for both prelims, mains, and also for the interview. They may ask you any kind of question which is at this point of time very relevant to us, and that comes directly from their mouth with regard to international relations only, right? So in interview also you are better placed when you are able to get the PSIR optional, right? Fine. So you can connect with me with this number and you can call to me and we will have a demo session. You just see the format, you just see whatever we are going to do in the next 10 to 12 months till you write your mains examination. You don't have to worry about it when we are doing the prelims. I'll give you a gap, but that gap will also be done in such a way that you are well placed, okay, and you are not forgetting your PSIR optional subject 2. Okay, right. Today we will be discussing first and second model answers and analysis of UPSC GS paper 2025. Okay, and this is the format that we are going to do in the next 6 days. Means weekly I will give you the schedule and accordingly we will follow. So do follow me every other time and also subscribe to my channel and also share with all of your friends and also in the groups. And the classes will be completely in English, okay, because I always believe that when you are an English medium student, it is important that you hear the classes of English. Why? Because the framing of sentences you learn only when we are hearing also in English and also understanding in English, the interrelation, the interdisciplinary things, all that you will be able to connect with the help of English learning only. Otherwise what will happen, you will hear in Hindi, then you have to comprehend in English, then you have to make a sentence. That's not going to work out because that framing of sentences, if you are directly hearing from the educator itself, which he might have or she might have or he will have or she will have picked up directly from the books, if they are saying whatever the book is, definitions and challenges and way forwards are there, and the same language you are also hearing, then it becomes very easy for you to put in the answer sheet. That's why English medium students should study only in English and try to be very fluent and very understanding with regard to English only. That will serve your purpose to a very lot of extent. Okay, so 26th of August, that is today, we are doing 2 questions 1 and 2. 27th of August we'll be discussing any other topic with regard to PSIR that have been covering in the form of themes. You can see in the thumbnail, till now we have done 16 themes with regard to static political science and also the contemporary international relations too. 28th August we'll be discussing 3 and 4 questions of GS paper 2. 29th August 2025 PSIR theme 18. 30th August 5 and 6 question. 31st August we are going to see again the PSIR theme. Then the next week schedule I will give you on 31st August. If any doubts are there, if any kind of content you want, it is there in the Facebook. Links are given in the description. You can see the title, you can see the description, and you can learn exactly whatever is there. Okay, let us start our discussion with our first question that we have in our GS paper 2 UPSC 2025 Polity. So you can see here what is given. I felt that the mains examination is more of what? Theoretical. Means they don't have much of the interrelationship with regard to what different sectors, nor it has got any integration with regard to what contemporary or the current affairs. The questions that were given in the examination, most of them are what is there in the books, is there in the textbooks. You don't have to much worry about it also. Okay, Now you just see the first question, discuss the corrupt practices for the purpose of Representation of People Act of 1951. So basically you are going to write the corrupt practices only one by one, okay, within the constraint of words limits. Now the next part is important. Again, analyze. Analyze means you have to see that whether these cross practices, what kind of impact it may have. That is important. Another, analyze whether the increase in assets of legislators, when as a MP and MLA my wealth is increasing, okay, so my wealth is increasing disproportionate to my income, will I influence my constituency, and consequently the increase in wealth would it amount to corrupt practice or not. This is important. Okay, so basically here, if you always remember, in your mains examination you read the question again and again 2-3 times. When you do it, no, then only you will understand the answer. If you do it only once, you will not understand it. Okay, you have to do it 2 times or 3 or 4 times also possible. It clicks continuously on your subconscious mind what you have to write. That is important. Everything is there in your mind. All those who have passed prelims, everything is there in your mind. It is only that you have to pick up from your bowl and put it in the plate. That's all you have to do. But the thing is that you just write it, read it once, and after that you will not actually try to condition your mind or not try to be distracted. Then it becomes very easy. If you keep on distracting yourself and in the mind is thinking n number of things, that will not work out. So discuss the corrupt practices. This is a very simple thing. We'll do it. Now analyze whether the increase in the assets of legislatures, nothing but if I become a MP and MLA and my assets or the wealth is increasing, okay, which is very much disproportionate, which is not equal to the income. It is more than the income that I earn as a MLA and MP, but I am accumulating a lot of wealth. Okay, would it constitute the undue influence or not, and consequently become a corrupt practices, and with the help of which disqualification can also be possible, right? Yeah. So let us start our discussion with this. So basically what I want to say here is, first of all, you write what is all about RPA Act. You have to write Representation of People Act of 1951. What does it aims? What is its goal? What kind of framework it will provide? If you write any of these, okay, your introduction will be over. Then after that you have to write that section, you have to write which is 123. Under section 123 of RPA Act, the corrupt practices are discussed. The corrupt practices are given. So you have to discuss. It's not like you have to leave it. Okay, you have to discuss. So you are going to discuss corrupt practices, all of them which are given under what? Right to representation of the People's Act. Why? Because elections are very common to our country. State-wise elections happens, municipal elections happens, panchayat elections happens, central government elections happens. As you become a member of one of the important administrative system, and you will be in such a position that you in your locality also these kind of elections take place. So you will be asked to give a report with regard to any of the corrupt practices. First of all, the person who is actually appointed, he should be knowing, right? As a bureaucrat, you should be knowing what are the corrupt practices. That's why what I really feel is, when the mains examination happens, no, they will ask such questions which actually you are going to implement in your day-to-day life in the future also, when you become the administrator, right? So right to representation act, I'll give you the model answer, but we are just trying to see that whether the approach we are doing is properly done in our mind or not. Okay, the moment I see the question, I have understood that there are multiple questions are there in the same question, right? So I will be talking about corrupt practices. I will be trying to analyze the disproportionate increase in income of mine, how it become a corrupt practices. Okay, these are the 2 questions I have to ask. 5 and 5 marks, you can understand. So what I will write is, in the introduction, Representation of People's Act, I will mention the aim or goal or the framework that it provides for the candidates who are contesting the elections, or the MPs and MLAs. Then I will be writing what corrupt practices which are a part of section 123 of RPA Act. Then I will be writing bribery, hate speech, okay, or profit sharing, insolvency, etc. I will write all of this. After writing that, I will try to say what analyze the third important area that I am going to, which is nothing but body only. This is also body, this is also body, this is introduction, we have to give conclusion also, right? So in analysis I will be writing basically a Supreme Court judgment is there, okay, then I will be writing whether this disproportionate income in the history or any of the book references are considered as one of the important important tool. Increase in income of the MLS and MP could be an important tool to influence the election or not. Do I have any quotations or not? If I have read, then I will write it. Then Supreme Court judgment I will write it. And what impact would be there if this kind of disproportionate income increase happens with regard to legislators. So here I will cover what these three things. Okay, I'll write it again. So we are going to write in introduction what we are going to write. We are going to write RPI, Representation of People's Act. Okay, we are going to write the introduction this way. Then the body is divided into two parts. The body is, one is we will discuss the corrupt practices. Another one is we are going to discuss, okay, analysis. Okay, increase in income of the legislators disproportionately with their income source. So here directly we will write the corrupt practices, and here we will do what? We will make sure that in analysis any of the quotations, if we are aware of it, which influence the elections because of increase in income. So some citations will take here. Supreme Court judgment citation will take, and we'll also discuss the impact in analysis, because that is how we do the analysis. Analysis is nothing but take as much as content and ground with regard to that particular topic. Tell all the good and bad with regard to that particular question. That is called as analysis. I hope this is clear to you. Let us start our discussion. So in the first, what I have written, introduction only. The Representation of People Act 1951 provides a legal framework, legal because it is a law, for conducting free and fair elections in India. How? It defines qualifications, disqualification and corrupt practices of the candidates. Thus, it safeguards democracy and electoral integrity. Electoral integrity is nothing but we feel ourselves that yes, citizens, government, everyone feel that okay, elections has happened in a fair manner. There is no corrupt practices involved in the elections. That is only called as election integrity. True to self, true to citizen, true to government. That is only called as electoral integrity. So what I have done, this act actually makes the elections to be free and fair. Legally it provides qualification, disqualification and corrupt practices. Section 123 of RPA Act of 1950 define corrupt practices. You can see bribery is there. Undue influences is there. Undue influence is nothing but if I put a knife on your throat of yours or any of your siblings, etc., threatening you with regard to what? Punishing you or forcing you. Okay, religious pressure is there, that someone like from my religion asked me, no, you should vote only to MIM, should not vote only to BJP. Some kind of religious pressure also is there. Spiritual censure to interfere with free electoral right. Okay, so you will be involved in some spiritual like kun faya kun of Ranbir Kapoor. So with the help of that, they are trying to manipulate you, okay, by asking you to do some bhajans, etc. That also comes under what? Undue influences. Appeal on religion, you know very, very good. You cannot ask votes on the basis of caste. Main Musalman hu, mujhe vote do, right? You cannot do that. Fine. So understand this point. Bribery, undue influence and appeal on religion. Then promoting hatred, you know very well. Lot of people have already booked under it. Okay, Mr. Akbaruddin Aveshri, Mr. Raja Singh, all of my Hyderabad, the prominent leaders which are basically based on their communal lines, they do it. Glorification of Sati, you should not do. Okay, you should not be talking about it when the candidate who is actually contesting the elections and also the MPs and MLAs who are actually sitting also. False statement you should not give with regard to the character of a particular person. You should not say, if my opponent is there, I should not say that usko 4 बीवी है या उसको 3 बीवी है. पहले बात बोलना ही नहीं private life के बारे में. Free conveyance है. Okay, I cannot just appeal to the people that कहाँ पे भी है वो आ जाओ हैदराबाद में, let us meet at gun park, okay, and I will be free fruit दूंगा, यहाँ पे बिरयानी दूंगा. तो basically government and constitution wants that हमारे दिल से लोग आए और दिल से अपने जनादेश दें. Okay, excess expenditure नहीं करना है. That's why there is a limit given. If you are doing excess expenditure, then you are violating the section 77 of the constitution, this RPA Act. गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट असिस्टेंस भी नहीं लेना है. आप आर्म फोर्सेस की, पुलिस की, जजेस की सपोर्ट लेके नहीं करना है इलेक्शंस. देन बूथ कैप्चरिंग, ऑब्वियसली इट्स अ क्राइम इटसेल्फ. So all of these we have written. Now undue influence. The 2018 judgment has said that non-disclosure of assets and source of income of candidates, their spouses and dependents would constitute a corrupt practice, falling under the headline undue influence. So Supreme Court, whatever, they're not in the direct sense, but in an indirect sense have sourced that, said already that if you are having much of the income with you, it will consider as undue influence as defined under section 123, section 2 of RPA Act. So it is very clear that Supreme Court indirectly have already told that increase in income will amount to what corrupt practices. It has to be noted that eminent political thinkers, for example, Kautilya, he has stressed strict regulation of officials' wealth and income. Obviously, he knows also very well that if the increase in income of the official happen, they will have more influence with regard to the decision making. Rousseau social contract also saw unequal accumulation of wealth is a threat to equality and democracy, nothing but election itself, producing undue influence of rich on the election. So there are some quotations that I have done in order to obviously the influence the evaluator. Okay, then I have written here impact. The increase in wealth does influence elections due to uneven playing field. आपके पास कम पैसे, मेरे पास ज़्यादा है, so I will be doing more of campaigning. That's why limits are there with regard to the income of expenditure, but obviously no one follows it. More resources to dispense on publicity, campaigns, and to be in the good books also, they may say that. और एक बात भी है. Okay, the citizen perception is very simple. Suppose if I am a poor and have nothing, as a teacher I am getting elected, the people perception is that what he can do for them. Okay, he cannot do much for them, right? If a wealthy person is there, they will have a hope that yes, he can do something for them. So this kind of social perception with regard to being rich and not being rich, okay, also influence what? Election. That's why we do not want much of the income with regard to the legislator. Gratification expectations in return, okay, that the citizens may do. Money can do with the help of money can do anything with the perception. We can change the perception of the people with the help of what? Money. So these are the various impacts, and this is the quotations and this is the judgment. So our answer is very well framed, very well done. And if you are having the same similarity with regard to my answer, then you are good to go. Okay, clear or not? Yes. Now let us go ahead with the second important question. Comment on the need of administrative tribunals. A very easy question, because why do we need tribunals? Obviously, they are very specific, okay, for a particular cause. Obviously, they are having a lot of experts involved in that. They are not generalized people. That is there. And timelines are given to them. Fine, so they will be not like Sunny Deol kaisa तारीख पे तारीख will not happen, just like in the code here. They will be having deadlines and also they will be fast track होने वाला है यहाँ पे. Judgment will be fast track, right or wrong? Yes. So many such already you have learned in the Lakshmikant book or whatsoever you are reading. In that it is very easily mentioned why do we need what? Administrative tribunals. Now, first of all, you have to also mention in the introduction that what are tribunals and whether they have the constitutionality or not. So obviously at a time of independence, we do not have tribunals as a part of our constitution, but later on we have added we have given constitutional status to what? Administrative tribunals. Remember this point here, okay? Okay. Now you can mention in introduction, you can mention regard to what are administrative tribunals. You can mention this point, okay, and whether they have got the constitutionality or not. This point, 2 points you have to mention, which comes to around 3.5 lines. Then you have tried in the body, you have tried need, you have tried. After writing the need, now again assess the impact. Whenever they talk about impact, you have to talk about good and bad. Whether good is happening also you have tried, whether bad is happening also you have tried. That is only called as impact. Remember this point. I am impacted by you. So how do you perceive it? Okay, Arey, being with you is very impactful. Maybe in the night time you will be very happy with that particular friend, but in daytime he will be irritating to you, right? So imagine a point that impact is not always to be taken into negative. Impact is nothing but what comes out of this particular tribunals. So we are either it could be what positive, either it could be negative. So you have tried all of that. Okay, and they are talking about impact assess karna hai, not exactly with regard to the tribunals they are asking. Impact को assess करना है in the lens of what? The tribunal reforms that has brought in the year 2021. So we got a tribunal reforms in the year 2021. Tribunal Reforms Act has come into year 2021. So basically most of the tribunals are unified and in that particular tribunal ordinance and after the act. Okay. So first of all, this is a very simple question. 5 marks तो मिल गए यहाँ पे आपको 5 marks मिलते, 3 marks तो लाना ही लाना है. Okay, because if you know the act, you can easily get through the impact also. और ये लिया भी गया है बिजनेस स्टैंडर्ड के न्यूज़पेपर से ही लिया गया है. सो यू कैन सी दैट बिजनेस स्टैंडर्ड. ओके, ओपिनियन हेडिंग था मेरा, तो ऑब्वियसली सब्सक्रिप्शन है यहाँ पे. रेशनिंग दी एपलेट, यहाँ पे भी रेशनलाइजेशन लिखा हुआ है. ऑब्वियसली व्हेन दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इट, दे विल बी डिस्कसिंग द इम्पैक्ट ऑल्सो, दैट ऑल्सो वी आर डूइंग हियर. ओके, फाइन. Now, this is commonly in the introduction, in the body, half paragraph, you can write this. Okay, changes. Here you can see the chairperson, vice chairperson, chairman or other members who are currently occupying the post with tribunals to be merged. They will be entitled to like free months का उनको payment देंगे, etc. so and so forth. So you can go through all the changes that has been brought under the tribunals. 10 tribunals, let us suppose, became 3 tribunals, and now the 7 tribunals, whoever are working, obviously they will be given some kind of compensation, right? Because they have to go home. Okay, fine. So ये तो silent features है. You have to write after introduction, writing it little bit of this, the changes you have to write. After discussing the need of tribunals, you have to write the changes. The Tribunal Reforms Act of 2021 has brought the following changes. Bullet point में 4-5 लिख देना, which I have given you. After that, you have to write the impact. Impact is that when a tribunals are much expert final say. Okay. So basically tribunals are given to get what? Sectoral expertise. Like family courts है तो obviously family related experts will be there. Then income tax tribunal hai, to the people who are sitting are more familiar with income tax. Then you have CATs there, then which take care of only recruitment, promotion, etc. Government employees ke bare mein any kind of disputes are there, so they will go there. Then green tribunal is there, NGT, National Green Tribunal, talks about environment conservation and takes care of environmental issues, etc. So basically experts finance is the important impact. When a tribunals comes into being, when experts are given their opinion, then what is next to argue? There won't be much. Okay, fine. Now what happens is this expertise that we have created, again it will become generalized, because 10 tribunals now became 3 tribunals, and 3 tribunals are actually taking care of many aspects. So the expertise जो create करे थे by having lot of tribunals became what narrowed down, and the person who does not have much of the knowledge also, whatever he says, that expert opinion will become what? Final. Right or wrong? Yes. Then low productivity, down staffing तो हो गया है. So we have seen why we have done, what is the impact of this reforms, Tribunal Reforms Act of 2021. बहुत सारे appellate tribunals did not have 2 hours of daily work also. Cyber appellate tribunal, copyright board, okay, are practically not functioning. वहाँ पे बैठे सो chairpersons etc. है ना, उन सबको हम golden handshake दे दिए, भाई इतना इतना ले लो चले जाओ. Okay, sir इतना sorry to use the word भाई, sir इतना इतना ले लो चले जाओ, ठीक है. सो ये एक इम्पैक्ट हुआ कि लो प्रोडक्टिविटी देखी गई है, एंड दैट्स वाई वी हैव डन द डाउन साइजिंग. दिस इज वन इंपॉर्टेंट इम्पैक्ट. एक्सपर्ट फाइनेंस इज अनदर इम्पैक्ट. देन सिंप्लीफिकेशन एंड क्लैरिटी भी मिल गया. फाइनेंस बिल 2017 ऑल्सो अमेंडेड 17 लास्ट टू ब्रिंग ए कॉमन सर्विस रूल्स फॉर 19 ट्रिब्यूनल्स. कॉमन सर्विस रूल आ गया है, सो इट बिकम्स वेरी इजी नाउ टू मनूवर. अगर मैं एक ट्रिब्यूनल में काम करता हूँ, सो इफ आई गो टू इन टू अनदर ट्रिब्यूनल ऑल्सो, आई विल बी बेटर ऑफ, वाई बिकॉज द रूल्स आर वेरी सिमिलर. ओके. Now the problem here is another impact, negative impact is that now government get more of the say with regard to what? Making rules, and it will become too much centralization also. Okay, because सबके rules एक ही central government ही बना रही है, and for all the tribunals. Qualification, appointment, terms of the service, all of them are decided by what? Central government. The amendment states that the term of office of these persons will not exceed 5 years. एक clarity आ गई यहाँ पे कि पहले क्या होता था, 3 years के लिए अपॉइंट करते थे, देन दे यूज्ड टू रिन्यू इट. ओके, एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ व्हाट? नो वन नोस, वेदर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस एक्सेट्रा, नो वन नोस अबाउट इट. देयर वाज नो बेंचमार्क प्रैक्टिसेस टू एवेल्युएट हाउ दी पीपल आर वर्किंग अंडर द ट्रिब्यूनल्स. यहाँ पे क्लियर कट देखा गया है कि आप 5 साल से ज़्यादा काम नहीं करेंगे. चैलेंजेस क्या है? टू मच सेंट्रलाइजेशन, लाइक 19 ट्रिब्यूनल्स बिकेम 3 ट्रिब्यूनल्स. नाउ वट एवर द गवर्नमेंट सेज दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. सपोज आई एम इन्वेस्टर विद रिगार्ड टू, लाइक मेरी ये कंपनी है बड़ी सी, लाइक वट एवर द PSCR 300 प्लस 1 crore की कंपनी बन गई. सो आई एम हैविंग टैक्स इशू, सो आई गो टू income tax tribunal. Now income tax tribunal is not there, and only 3 tribunals are there, and central government is always keeping eye on the 3 tribunals only. So I will be more visible to what? Political fraternity, that which I may don't want it, right? So I will, as an investor, I will feel that government eyes मेरे ऊपर हमेशा है. Okay, efficiency matters. Cost of judicial efficiency, unless specialized benches are proposed to be set up, deal with specific laws. So if see how many number of tribunals you create, or you downsize it or you increase it, what actually matters is whether you are able to do the judicial the judgments at the very efficient way or not. That is more important. Ab 10 tribunals became 3 tribunals, and you are taking, instead of 2 months, you are taking what, 10 or 10 years or 5 years to give the judgment. What is the use of this simplification, right or wrong? So this is one of the challenge that they have to take care of. Ensuring accountability, ensuring merit-based appointments of members, monitoring the time taken in resolving disputes. The number of disputes settled without a full hearing could be in some ways of gauging whether an appellate tribunal is actually functioning with efficient and with utmost sincerity and integrity. There are some challenges that I have listed for the first hand. If you're very close to it, sit down and relax. You're very well. To one more challenge you can write, one more reform also you can write, a good thing also you can write, and you can end that. Okay, whatever therefore you can write, therefore the tribunals plays a very important role. Okay, it does provide the constitution, and also the today's judicial landscape does provide the enabling of tribunals, because the matters are dealt and with a very amicable manner and a faster manner. So you can say that yes, simplification is good, and things are going good only, and it becomes common servile rules helps even to the investor that they know all the things, what to do, what not to do. So standardization is must even. So this is all about it. Do join my classes, test series and mentorship. Tomorrow I'll come. I've given you the outline how to do it, not exactly the discussion that we do for the students in the classes, but this is more than enough, okay, for you to understand that what I'm going to do. Okay, and check out your answer, and challenges are done. Everything is very properly given to you. It's not like that I have given half. 99% is very very similar to what I have given to my students in the class. So चलो टेक केयर. फिर कल हम PSIR थीम में मिलेंगे, और उसके बाद में अपना फिर से 3rd and 4th क्वेश्चन हम करेंगे, ठीक है? चलो टेक केयर. डू सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिए, एंड शेयर टू ऑल ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स. बाय बाय.